Dear Ableism, as you can see, this is a letter that I am writing to you in the hope that putting these everyday and constant thoughts onto paper I have on a daily may or might change between you and I. A change that may open up our eyes wider to see the bigger picture and all problems that we all face today. We know that there are a lot of issues and problems that we all face today. The question is, who is it to blame for all these issues and problems that we encounter every day and that we face every day of what has happened in the past and present? Just to let you know before I continue writing this letter and share this to the world, I'm speaking only for me as an Aspie, but I believe there are many others like me that has something to say as well. I may like to write to you as well, or even share with you their feelings and thoughts about you and state their case, claims too, and hopefully they'll be listened to very closely. I believe wholeheartedly, however, that I may have carried you around for a very long time without knowing or realizing that you were there and existed in my life. To be honest, I thought I got rid of you before you wreaked havoc in my life for a period of time in my life where no one will know me or even my existence, only to find a great number of the rest of the world still wielded you like a social axe with sharp oppression edges, and it's like dying the death of a million paper cuts that we cut ourselves every day. I was at least young to wake up and realize when I very noticed you, but you were there from birth. You morphed into a massive weight around my neck as I aged. I wore you like a restrictive, chaffing Elizabethan collar as well as a chaffing Elizabethan corset. Thought you were necessary in my eyes because the world around me did as well. No one told me to rip you off and be proud until my 30s, in which I am now in my 30s. Sometimes I find myself still picking you back up and wearing you again, just like an old worn work shirt, like the one you might choose to wear when doing a dirty, unlikable task in an everyday life. So in the interest of trying to dispatch you into the void of the past, I like to ask you to stop doing some things. Sometimes you're like an invisible radio. You broadcast these things through other people, but the signal is sometimes just accepted by others. It's time to change the channel and to change the signal. Sometimes you broadcast your poisonous frequencies from abled people and sometimes from other disabled people. So however you broadcast them, the list is the same. Independent judgment. You don't and won't get to judge. 1. How autistic I am. Those with genuine expertise or lived experiences don't use high and low functioning anymore. With high and low, you set me up to fail or have some expectations so low I cannot achieve. Either way, you then use inappropriate measures of me to incorrectly prove your prejudice. Ask questions if you must, or maybe just read this list and apply to it. It's better than rank some assumptions. 2. How I speak, or even if I speak at all. You also don't get to interpret my innate directness as being rude. I can be hyperverbal, a chatterbox, and I can want to talk or not talk to anyone. It's not your call to make, however, whether this is necessary or not in your eyes. I can communicate with you, whether verbal or not, but it might not be in the way you least expect it. Give my communication the same respect as any form of communication and take time to appreciate it all. Speech is not the only form of communication, and autistic communication is different, not a deficit. 3. How I think or process information. There isn't one way to think. I may seem to go around things in different ways, but what I produce, what I do, and what I say or not say are valid. Thinking is not measured against the neurotypicals only. 4. How my senses operate and how I take care of my environment. You don't get to decide if it's too bright, too loud, or too many people in a space for me, or whether I should force eye contact or not. I'm doing my best to look at your glasses or eyebrows usually, then looking away regularly. I get to decide how I manage that, and I do know what hurts me. I cannot change my sensory parameters just to suit yours. I am not a machine or a robot with dials and switches any more than you are. I cannot step in out of my senses. 5. How social I am or am I not? To you, it's antisocial. To me, it's self-care. My need for solitude and peace is not your business. I also am not in the need of a dinner companion because you have decided it's lonely. I will seek the company of other people when I want and if I can and when I choose to. My social boundaries are different, not wrong. 5. What I call myself. You can say person with autism, but to me, autism isn't something separate from me, and it's not something to be ashamed of. For me, I am an autistic person, or even, as I classically called myself every day, an Aspie. 6. How do I do a task? I know what I can do, so don't exclude me from a task every day because it is too stressful for me based on your limited judgment of me or without checking in with me first. This happens to autistic people a lot, even when we are skilled and qualified and have a proven track record. I also deserve to try something now and modify a task to fit my known workarounds and ways I use with my aids and accommodations. I still deserve the right to abandon a task. I will seek support if I need it. Don't make these decisions for me. Only me can decide for myself. Assistance policing. This is my final ask. You don't get to decide 1. How I do or don't use my aids or my accommodations. Using communication techniques or social scripts that I have learned from the neurotypical world are my choice to use as I see fit for me. They are no different to any other disability aids. I won't use them all the time, but when I need to feel safe, it's my right to use them like a semi-ambulant person's using a stick at times and then sometimes not. Give me that right to decide for myself. 2. Whether I'm masking. I've had people counsel me about the dangers of masking or think I am being untrue to my nature or to myself when I use communication aids. I know masking can hurt me and damage my health, and I know my rudeness or directness or realness is perfectly okay because I accept me for who I am, of my imperfections, faults and flaws. I also know that after years of abuse from the neurotypical people, I tend to start slowly and may mask for self-preservation. I've made the decision to mask from time to time to feel safe, and that is my given darn right. Sometimes I will choose to mask because I know logically, if not emotionally, however, that I may offend on a given day topic. I ask neurotypical people to take the time to get to know my communication styles as well, and sometimes I need to do that for them too. I pick my own battles, sometimes poorly, and that's my right also. I pick my own battles to choose which is right, which is wrong, and also to know when to give up if need be. Make no mistake, I will not always mask, however. One form of oppression doesn't need to be matched with another. So dear Ableism, to be completely autistic or Aspie, I've had enough of you. This is my last communication to you, and I wish you well and hope that you shall and will not return any more in my life. Do not reply, go hastily into the night or day, and do not forever return. Aspie.